Like I'm
third.
gonna keep saying it. Like they're really good, and they're a tier above what the public thinks they are right now, and that's the exciting part, which
They're
is
gonna keep getting better.
stunning. It's shocking. Indiana is what everyone thinks Illinois is. In the if you want to talk about the Heather Dinich comments on Pat McAfee today,
Is that what we're going into now? We should just talk about that and like the preseason rankings that we've been seeing that are coming out. You know?
Well, I was gonna say the Heather Dinich segment is absolutely not sponsored by Shalubi's NCAA's #1 all-time soggiest sandwich. But if it was gonna be sponsored, that would be my personal pick. But yeah, the Dinich comments, not great. She basically said that Illinois has the chance to be this year's Indiana, and why.
Whatever the fuck that means.
Like,
what
first of all, there's no
mean?
like, there's no. Here's where my brain went. Like, if she said, if the next thing out of her mouth was then because they're both Big Ten teams that started with an I and Illinois has a chance to make the playoff, then it'd be like, okay, cool, you said something that was like a little off. Like, why you need to put Indiana in there? But to compare 2023 Indiana and 2020 to the transformation they made to what Illinois was last year, 9-win football team with a bowl win over an SEC team, being ranked in the between 10 and 15 of every major preseason poll. Like, it's an illogical, and it's hurts my brain.
Yeah, it's a dumb take no matter how you slice it. So let's like take it easy on her a little bit here and say, okay, she's picking Illinois to be the Big Ten surprise of this year, like Indiana was last year, make the play and be that fourth Big Ten team in the playoff. The problem with that is that every pundit out there has Illinois ranked in their top 15.
That's what I'm saying.
So like, it's like not even that good of a take. Like, it's like, no matter how you slice it, it's just the dumbest thing you've ever heard. And like, I cannot wait for that Illinois game on what, September 23rd or whatever.
September 20th.
20th? Sooner than I thought. Perfect. All right. Well, yeah, home game. It's gonna be a packed house. I mean, yeah, just bulletin board material. Please feed it to me.
For a team that doesn't need it.
Keep giving me bulletin board material for September 20th, please. Because that, like I said, when we did a little run through on the schedule, like that's the game that's going to really determine the direction of the season. Just how we said the UCLA game was. Yeah, it's easy to point the Big Ten opener as what's going to change the course
season defining.
Like, it was Northwestern. Like, I'm not going to pick that. Like, it's just not. That's not what's going to happen. So, yeah, huge game, huge opportunity. I am big on Illinois. I do think they're going to. I think the Big Ten is going to be really solid next year. But her comments were just asinine.
No, it's funny, yeah, because it's. But that's the point. Is Illinois was a good team last year. Me and you were sitting on Sigs. We were sitting on Sigs Inside an Indiana football podcast, making the case for Illinois to be the 3-loss team that gets in because of the fact that they played in the Big Ten. Like, this isn't like an anti-Illinois thing. This is just the fact that this team that is clearly a tier below Indiana, regardless of how many people they have coming back, is just being talked about like they're like Illinois is being talked about how Indiana should be talked about right now, and Indiana is being talked about like they did nothing last year and none of that mattered. Like, it's actually insane. People are using Indiana's history to determine what they're going to be this year and not Kurt Cignetti's history, and that is the mistake.
Yeah, Indiana brings back 3 All-Americans on defense. Their 2 best receivers on offense. They were a playoff team last year, and they upgraded every hole they needed to fill. Like, what? I cannot wait to see what Phil Steele picks for Indiana next year. I'm anticipating, because he was kind of hip. He was talking about Indiana going bowling, which a lot of people were not going into last year. So curious to see how, a real college football analyst evaluates Indiana going into next year. And it's so sad. She went to Indiana,
I know, she's a Hoosier, and she dogged the team last year too, which is it was funny. A lot of the reaction from the Hoosier fans on Twitter was like, oh, so she's going to shit on them too if they go 11-1.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But like I said, I think actually I don't have it in front of me. I'm staring at the coaching rankings, but like she's good at getting engagement. I'll give her that. And most Hoosiers are elite in their field. So
5 minutes on it.
I want to put a bow on the Derek Owings conversation real quick to just say his new contract is, quote, in excess of $900,000.
Feels underpaid.
I know. I was
saw
about to
that
say
too.
it does feel underpaid, but I think he's like top 5 or top 3 in
That's
the field. So
that's strength coach money though. That's just
he's making almost
for
$1
whatever
million as
reason.
a strength coach. Like that's good for him.
I
And
think it's worth
he's
throwing a 1.5 at him. To be honest, I think that's worth it.
well. That's for next time somebody tries to. Yeah, 100% agree. Very well deserved
Yeah.
for him. But that's for like they need a
Not
little
my
wiggle
money,
room for the
so
next time somebody tries to poach him, they can go up a little bit more.
yeah, we'll go to 1.2 next negotiation, and then after that we'll go 1.5, and at that point he's going to the league.
Yeah, and
So
then we're
as
yeah.
long as we can keep him his entire collegiate career, I'm good. I'd be disappointed if he went to a different college before he goes and does NFL work.
100%. How do you feel about Joel Klatt?
I like Joel Klatt. Good. I would say he wasn't a Pac-12 quarterback. He's a Big 12 quarterback. But yeah, Colorado. You know, I think he's fine. He's good.
Joel Klatt had the Hoosiers ranked 21 in his top 25. They were the 5th or 6th Big Ten team off the top of my head. I can't remember.
Better than a lot of these pundits that don't even have Indiana ranked. So I'll give him credit there.
Exactly. It's fair. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I don't have to like it. That being said, it's by far the best like public representation of what this team can be. Like the starting expectation for them is much closer to 21 than it is unranked and like need to prove yourself. Like it'll change quickly because guess everybody's got to play football games. But yeah,
Not that
21 I thought was fair.
Not that I think like that's probably where we're gonna be ranked going into the year. So he probably nailed it. Like if he's trying to pick the AP top 25, probably nailed it. Going into the preseason. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Yeah, 21. I mean, that's probably where they're gonna be. And fuck, what was I gonna say? God damn, I'm looking at Wrigley Field right now.
Distracted.
Yeah, a little bit. There's like fireworks going on. Hold on. I'm like a dog. I'm like, what's going on?
Moving screens are distracting for Brad.
Yeah, 21. 21 Savage. What's 9 plus 10? What we talking about? Oh my god.
Well, I'll rescue you here.
Yeah, doesn't even matter. Doesn't even honestly. Here's what I was gonna say. I wish he didn't even rank us. I'm gonna keep my same narrative that we've been saying this whole time, where it's like I don't want any hype. Not that I think that this team's gonna be affected by hype in any way, shape, or form. They're ranked top 5 going into the Ohio State game. I don't see that. Yes, they played a little sloppy, but I don't think there's probably the whole team didn't have a letdown. It was probably certain guys that did. Couldn't handle the bright
I mean,
lights,
if you want to talk about
K-Dick. But
listen, we could spend a minute and a half.
I mean,
on
they
this
did a whole
because
video breaking down.
I love Mike.
Sports.
I love Mike Kadick, but I did not appreciate the fact that he stood there with Barstool Tate and let the Indiana offensive line, that was arguably the best unit in the country, be a laughing stock for a minute and a half for fun. I didn't appreciate that. I also didn't appreciate the Mason Graham clip he posted where essentially it was somebody else's mistake that he was pointing out. Listen, if you're going to be a film guy, be a film guy. If you're going to be like a content creator, do your thing. Obviously, I love Mike Kadick, but I just didn't appreciate, as an Indiana fan who's like trying to be really specific about the perception of Indiana football and where people should look at us and take us seriously, I didn't appreciate it.